Hey guys, it's Sam. Today I'm going to be showing you what is in my pen pouch. This has been a pretty highly requested video, and it's been a highly requested video for a while now, and I have hesitated to film it because I don't know that it's going to be necessarily exciting or anything, but since so many people have asked about it, I decided I might as well go ahead and show you guys what I have in here. I am currently in my Hobonichi weeks. I don't know how long this is going to last, but I'm really enjoying it for now. It was definitely all the result of me ordering and receiving this beautiful cover from Moterm, which I shared with you in a recent video. I don't think it was an unboxing though. I unboxed the pocket. But since I am not always in Hobonichi, and of course I write other places, not just in my planner, I thought that I would not just be talking about like what kind of pens I would use in the Hobonichi, but just the kind of pens that I like in general, and that's why they're in my pen pouch. Now, I feel like I'm I'm very particular about my pens, so I'm going to get probably a little extra geeky when it comes to that kind of thing here. So I'm going to be telling you, like, with each of these pens, like what I like or dislike about them, what medium I appreciate them the most on, and maybe even why they're in my pen pouch, even if it's not a pen that I use like on a daily basis. So if that interests you at all, then this is the video for you. Currently, I am carrying a leather pen case, and this one is not called a pen case anymore. This is from Portland Leather Goods. This is in the discontinued color Dune. It does have a little bit of color issue right here because I sanitized my hands and immediately grabbed my pen case. You should not do that. The alcohol definitely does bad things to leather, so my bad. But I like this because it's a floppy pebbled leather, and so it like opens up really big like this, and so you can easily see what you are getting out of your pen case. So this one is it's called the Sidekick, and like I said, the Dune is no longer available, but there are other pebbled leathers. I am currently obsessed with the color Honey from Portland Leather, so I'm going to be ordering this in Honey too, because Honey is the color I most frequently carry in their bags, and I just kind of like to have things match. I am currently a Portland Leather ambassador, and so I do have a link that helps them know that I'm sharing their products. So if you would use my link, I would appreciate it. I also have a code currently, Sam Plans, for 25% off your order. I do make a small commission, but more importantly, I just like them to know that I'm sharing. So if you have interest in learning about Portland Leather, please click through my link so that they can see that I'm sharing. All right, so I will also say that this like pen situation has definitely calmed down through the years. I used to carry a lot more pens than I'm currently carrying. Let's see, this is an extras page. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you how each of these pens writes in the Hobonichi weeks, like how bad the smearing is and such. And then this is the Hobonichi Papers notebook, and this is not Tomoe Rover paper. And then, let me see here. I'm just gonna grab some regular-ish paper. These are just the free pages that come with your Moterm planners. And so I'm just gonna write with the pens in each of these paper to show you like smearing and that kind of thing. So although it's not currently in my pen pouch, I'm gonna start here with the Sarasa Vintage. This is in the color Camel, and this I actually am loving, even in the Hobonichi weeks. I don't know how long it will last, but I journal with this pen all the time. I was using this in my pocket Moleskine when I was using it as a planner. I was using this in the faux weeks, and I just really like the color, and I like that it's not just bold and in your face. Some people, the bolder like dark black ink, the better, but that's just not my preference. I usually like my pens to not feel like there's in stark contrast to the paper. It's another thing that probably makes me weird, but it is what it is. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and write the name of the pen and like 0.5 or whatever, if I can remember, for consistency's sake. All right, so this one is the Sarasa Vintage, and it's a 0.5. Now this one will smear, but a Hobonichi Weeks, if you've heard of the planner, you know it's just notorious. But it doesn't do too badly. Like, I don't know how many seconds that was, but I'm not going to cut that so you can see that it's not so bad. All right, so on this paper here, and don't make fun of me because I'm not good with outlines. And if you can hear my fan in the background, sorry about that. It's really hot in this room. The air conditioner like doesn't make it this far, so I have to have a fan or I'm going to suffocate. Now this one's not going to have any issue because it's not the Tomoe River paper. This paper has a little bit more like grip to it, which is my preference for writing. It's the opposite of the Hobonichi Weeks, so no smearing or anything with that either. Since that's my current pen, I'm going to just put it back in my pen loop. Can we see all this? We'll sit it right here. Okay, next up is and spoiler, I have several Uniballs in here. It's kind of my favorite pen brand at the moment, other than the Sarasa's, which I just love the camel so much. Other than that, Uniball is my jam right now. All right, so Uniball. And this is the 0.38. It's ultra micro if you like look it up on Amazon. I don't think that you can find these just for sale in stores. This one actually came to me in an order, not an order. I purchased a planner from somebody and they included this as part of the purchase. And I've never used 0.38 before. I have tried. Like, I hate it in like Pilot G2. It just feels incredibly scratchy and I cannot stand it. But this pen does not feel scratchy and I really like it. When I was in my pocket and my A6, I used this just on the 28-pound paper that I use for my inserts that I print for my ring bound planners, and I really enjoyed it in regular paper as well. So for this one, it's not going to smear very much because it's such a fine tip. Now I usually will say this, I really like a fatter point, like 0.5 or 0.7. It's super technical, right? But this one, because of the way it's designed, I don't feel quite so unsteady. But I will say, and I don't know if I'm alone in this, I like write up the backs of my Hobonichi pen test pages, and I'll think that I have found a pen that I love, and then when I turn into the week itself, it doesn't feel the same, and I ended up like regretting that I switched pens. So is anybody else out there like that, or is it really just me out here on an island by myself? One thing that I will say is that for me, a pen, I don't want to feel like I have no control as far as like I feel like I need something to like balance my writing off of. And when I write with this one, I feel like I still have that, even though it's such a fine point. And I don't find that with every finer tipped pen. This one I suggest even if you don't usually like tips this fine. So there we go. Keeping with that, maybe, let's see, I know I have one in here. Okay, so this is the Uniball, and this is the 207 Plus. I actually purchased this at Target. I could not find it online. I'll look on Amazon before I post this video and see if they are there yet. This one I actually swapped out for the point, I think this is still a Signo though. I swapped this out per 0.5. It comes with 0.7. and I like the 0.5s best, actually, which is a new thing for me. And this one is different. I think that there's something different about the ink. I think the plus is something about like not having checks washed, like some kind of security feature. But this one I like because generally when you have pens like this, they have the silver at the end, and then it's a really shiny silver on the clip, right? I can't think of words like lately. I don't know. I still have like the post-sickness brain fog. Maybe it'll never go away. But this isn't shiny, it's matte. So I really like this one. And I'm failing again. This one still has a little bit of smear even after like my chatting and moving on to other pages. So the only thing that you really can do in this situation is to use the blotting paper, which, did I even put it in here again when I started using this planner? No, not yet. I just have the paper that I got with an Anami order from years ago, and I cut it down to fit the weeks. Any blotting paper will do. This is a great informative video because I don't even have my stuff together. Let's see. I think I have one more of these gel pens. Okay, so this is the Uniball Signo 0.5, and this is the RT1. So this one is different. I can't write and talk at the same time. Look, and it's not even neat. RT1, and this is 0.5. So these pens, and I think maybe this one does too, and maybe that's why I like it, even though it's a 0.38. They have like a special point to them that is more rounded, so that it's like a smoother situation for writing. Don't come to me for the technical terms, guys, because they're not going to happen. RT1, and this one is the 0.5. Probably not going to have room here. I'm just going to do 0.5. Okay, this one is going to smear too. Actually, I feel like it didn't smear as much as the one above it. That's weird. Okay, so those are my favorite like go-to gel pens. And then also, now these are the pens that I have told everyone for a really long time that I hated, and now I have 2 of them in my pen pouch. So this is the same pen, but in a different body, and it's a multi-pen, as you get with the Hobonichi Weeks, the Uni Jetstream. These are the exact same pen, so I'm only going to give you one example. Okay, so this is like a hybrid. It's not a ballpoint and it's not a gel. It's some kind of, I don't know, some kind of magic something pen, and there are a couple of different brands that do this, and this is the same one that comes with your Hobonichi Weeks, and it's supposedly really good with Tomoe River paper, but I've always hated it. This I have replaced with 0.7 instead of the 0.5 that it comes with, which is also the same as what you get in the Hobonichi pen. And the 0.5 just feels so scratchy to me in this particular pen, and I feel again like I don't have any control. So this 0.7, and they also make one, like a 1.0. 1.0 is too fat, and the 0.5 is too scratchy, and the 0.7, in my opinion, for how I write, is just right. Now, I have usually in my life not gotten along at all with ballpoint pen, and I have tried and tried and tried to use it in the Hobonichi Weeks, and it's really perfect because you can highlight immediately over it and it's not going to smear or anything, but I have just not been able to make it work. I'm a gel pen user, gel. But recently, when I moved over to the paper for my pocket planner, I couldn't get another pen in the pen loop, and I was like, just try this pen in the paper. And in that 28-pound paper, I really loved it, which was a surprise to me. And so I've used this pen. Oh, I'm sorry again. I'm horrible with outlines, and I feel like this shows you. I'm just smoother on the whole. I'm gonna move this over. I'm smoother with how I'm writing in the gel pen than this kind of pen, but on that 28-pound paper, it just worked. So this is again the 0.7, And yeah, that's my preference. Let's see about this paper. See, this isn't bad. And I really like this pen in my Bible as well. So this comes with a black and a blue and a red. I think I have this linked in Amazon, but I do get the refills for the 0.7, which I think you can also get on Amazon. I know you can also get it on Jet Pens. Yeah, but I really like this pen. What I need to do is just fill it with all black because I never use the blue and I never use the red. So I have 2 different colors of those depending on what kind of planner I'm in. And of course there's no smearing with that one at all. I'm really stinking at this. Okay, so since I just showed that one, this is another example of the same kind of pen with, I think it's like some kind of emulsified. No, is that what you do with cooking? Emulsion? I don't know. Just scratch that. Acroball, Pilot Acroball, same kind of pen. Now, this one, I should have written Pilot, but there's no going back now. I feel like where this one has a little bit more of an oily look to it, this one is a bit more like just like a regular flat black, and I like this one honestly better in this paper than this one. However, I feel like the 0.5 is just a little bit too fine and the 0.7 feels just a little too fat. And this one is cheating because it's not in my pencil pouch. Is this it? No, this is it. Okay, so you can get these at like Target too, but they show fine and medium. And if you get them from like Jetstream, it's showing you like the 0.5. So this is the next up. And so this would be the 0.7. Actually, that doesn't feel so bad. It's been a while since I revisited this. Oh boy. Anyway, so I really like this one. Or the other one. I've had that pen for years, actually. So I really like this one. The only thing is, I feel like the Jetstream has like a really consistent ink. And this one you can kind of see that there's like a little light spot here and a little light spot there. But I like the way this pen flows better than the Jetstream. And again, this is the Pilot brand. Love that pen, and no smearing with that one either. I am a major failure. Oh, I should have shared this one earlier. This is the exact same pen. Oh, and I've got something on it. This is the exact same pen, but it's in like a, I don't remember what this one is called. It's like a brown gray, I think. And I feel like it doesn't dry as quickly as the Camel. I don't want to write brown gray because that might be wrong, but I think it's right. And I just did that out of order. I hope you guys are liking seeing the pen. Okay, so that's gotten a little bit of time, and it did give a little bit of something there, but it's not bad. So, not bad in the Hobonichi weeks. This one is the Pentel, I think this is something with a K. This is a regular Pentel EnerGel. The only difference is it's a thinner body than the regular Pentel EnerGels, which are usually pretty beefy. So, for planners that have notorious thin pen loops, this will fit in even in your smallest Malden pen loop. And this one is, I think this is the 0.5. I could be wrong. Let's find out together. This one is 0.5. And I will say that this feels like a very fine 0.5 in my opinion, and I want to use it in my Hobonichi weeks because it's going to dry quickly. And I feel like I like the way it writes here and I like the way it feels. But when I write in it in the Hobonichi Weeks, I just feel like it feels so thin. And you know, because it's such a needle tip point, I've got that whole balance issue again. So I feel like when I write with this one in my Hobonichi Week specifically, I feel like that my handwriting isn't as neat, and that's something that drives me crazy. Now these do come with 0.7. I swapped it out because I wanted to try to use it in the Hobonichi, but so far it's crazy because I do like this pen in the Hobonichi Cousin, but I haven't been able to make it work in the Weeks. And I think the reason is because in the Cousin, there's like nowhere that you don't have that grid. And in the Weeks, once you have written behind and you turn the page, then it's really hard to see the grids come up. And I feel like between not having lines to follow and not feeling like I can balance the pen properly, that I feel like I don't have the control that I want and that my handwriting isn't as neat. I know these are first world problems, but that's just how I feel. And again, I don't remember if I even mentioned it before. This is not going to smear because it's super fine. This is my newest Frixion acquisition, and this is thanks to Michelle. I found this, I think they have them on Amazon and they also have them at Target. This is a Frixion Synergy clicker, and it is in a 0.5. This one is also some kind of needlepoint something. It's not as pointy as a needlepoint. I don't know. I forget exactly what the pen package says, and I don't have it in here with me. But if you've been around here long enough, you know that Frixion is like one of my favorite brands ever. And yeah, it feels super nice on this paper. I don't feel like I don't have control. And I just love the way Frixions write and how smooth they are. And I like that they're not as bold as some other black pens. So just love this one. Love, love, love. Frixion is a favorite for sure. And this one has the eraser at the top, and this one you click with the clip. I've given this pen or and some kind of Frixion that's built like this to many people, and they're always like, how do I get the pen to come out? So this is how you, satisfying, right? This is how you get the pen to come down out of the pen body. So this one also, I love to use Frixion in my Bible. So I would say I also use the Camel Sarasa in my Bible, but Frixion, probably have written in my Bible more with the Frixion than any other pen. And then this one's going to be like the throwaway. This one is a Pilot Precise V5 RT, and this is in like their, I think it's like a retro or vintage, I think a retro pop or something like that. And I like the fact that I write in this camel color or the brown is very different for me. I usually just write in black ink. So this one is something that you're never going to see me write in my planner ever. I'm going to add Pilot in. And this one is the Precise. No, V5. Oh, RT. Now, these come in a lot of colors. Well, they have it in V5 and they have it in V7, but this again is a needlepoint, and this one is gonna smear because it is pretty inky even for a 0.5 pen. And I like, of course I don't even know what I'm doing, Precise V5 RT. So I like the way that feels on that paper. Actually, I like it better on that paper than I do this one. And I like the way that it feels on the Hobonichi paper, but I don't like the smearing. But I have this one in here because sometimes I just like to pull out a fun color. Sometimes like we have like study books that we use in like our Bible classes on Sunday and Wednesday, and I just want to have something fun because I don't use color in my planner and I don't use color pretty much anywhere, but I like a fun pop of color like on workbooks and stuff, because you know, I'm not going to worry about when I flip through them if it looks the same. So I like to have something a little colorful in case I'm in the mood to brighten up my page. The last pen in my pen pouch is the Pilot Vanishing Point. This one is the like non-gold nib. This one is, what is this? Rhodium plated, I think. And this time I have it with the document ink, which I just recently got. I usually use Noodler's Lexington Gray, and this is in the fine. And like I said, I just got this, and I have waited years to get this particular ink, and as you can see, it dries really quickly and doesn't have smearing. My problem is that certain fountain pen, your fountain pen is going to write differently depending on the ink that you have with it, and I have used almost exclusively, but throughout the years I've used it so much, the Lexington Gray, that I'm used to the way this pen feels. I'm used to the way this pen flows with that particular ink. And this writes finer with this document ink. Oh, see, I hate that. This writes finer with the document ink than I prefer. I'm gonna finish writing this. Yeah, I hate this. I absolutely hate it. So at this point, I'm like, I don't think, and then, okay, this was fine. See? Ugh. Okay, so I don't know if like I can get used to it. I don't know if I need to take one of my Twisbees or my Kaweco Sports that have like fine nibs that are just a little less fine than this one, and use that ink in there, but I don't know that this ink and this pen are going to be friends for me. I feel like it's too fine, and I can't imagine people using extra fine with it, but that's just, everybody has a personal preference, and I don't like it with my handwriting at all. The last thing that I have in there before I get to the highlighting section of this video, which I had already taken that out of the pouch, this is some off-white correction tape that I purchased from Tokyo Pen Shop, and this is in the 2.5 millimeter. Now they have one that's bigger than this, and this one doesn't take up the whole grid, and that is why I purchased it, because I wanted a correction tape that I could still see the dotted lines on either side if I needed to correct something. Sometimes I go ahead and make 2 swipes with it depending on what I have there or what I wrote, but I wanted it to be smaller on purpose because this grid is like 3 point something, and so this is 2.5, and so I wanted to be able to get in between the grids. Again, that one's from Tokyo Pen Shop. This is the highlighter that I use the most. This one is one of the Tombow brush pens, and I think this might have been, I don't remember this number, but it's like the tannish color. As you can see, this has been used a crap ton and has well gone on its way for having the number there. I feel like, oh wait, I probably have it in the back of my Hobonichi. Please hold. 992. 992. I would have never guessed. I think I could see the 9, this 9, but I wouldn't have thought that there was another 9 there. Anyway, I just want to go over how these highlight. So those colors are fine, I guess, together, and it doesn't bleed. Now these, knew that was coming. That is definitely not a working situation with the Hobonichi Weeks. Now all of those are going to do that, and I really don't want to get my marker all that messed up. So that one is the finest of those, and if the finest one did it, the other ones are all going to do it, so I don't want to get it all messed up. But the Jetstream is going to be fine, and the Acroball is going to be fine. That one's fine. Another Sarasa Vintage that's fine. The EnerGel does have some color transfer there. It does pick some up. And the Frixion, it doesn't really pick up the color, but it does fade the color. I think this one's gonna, yeah. Oh, that's a mess. Get that out of there. Okay, and then this document ink works really well with the Tombow brush pens, which I think is a reason why people love it so much. So as much as the Uniball is my favorite, that's a no, and the EnerGel is a no, and the Pilot, not very good either, and the Frixion, I mean, what's the point of highlighting it if it mostly goes away? We're just going to do some swipes on these other ones because it's different paper. It does behave better on regular paper. These two specifically. This one, this one, not so much. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe that clean. Jetstream good, Acroball good. Good. Just the tiniest bit with the EnerGel on this paper, and the Frixion does not disappear like that on this paper. I don't know what about the Hobonichi paper does that, but it does. This one picks up a little bit. I wouldn't recommend that one. And then the Vanishing Point, I feel like I picked up a little bit on that one. All right, and then with this Hobonichi notebook, that's going up. Well, I feel like I picked up a little bit there. So yeah, that one's the worst. Yeah, okay, do not recommend. Jetstream's fine, Acroball's fine. EnerGel, picked up a little bit there. Friction's fine. Actually, it did fine on this paper. That's weird. Okay, I don't know what makes the difference really, but there you can see. Hopefully, all three. So that is what I keep in my pen pouch. Now I do kind of cull this from time to time. Like I said, I have certain pens that I like better on certain paper than others. But for me, like I'll be sitting somewhere going to write something down and I'll be like, oh, well, I wish I had this kind of pen, or I wish I had that kind of pen, or I'll go to write in my Bible or something and I think, oh, I don't have the balance that I want, and I just dig through my pen pouch and wait until I find a pen that I like better, and then I'll start writing. I have test pages in the back of my Bible. I have test pages in the back of every planner, and I hope that there is someone out there who is as particular about that kind of thing as me. I feel like most of the people that I've seen, they have like one pen test page and it's just like neat looking, and I'm like writing and writing over it and I'm writing everywhere, and like it just turns into a whole mess of slop. If you don't tell anybody, I'll show you. So like that. It looks horrible, but this is like how my brain works. And I hope that there are other people that have a pen test page that looks like that, because it's kind of embarrassing. Yeah, I write hello the most. But that looked pretty at the beginning because it just had the brushed pens that I was planning on using in my planner this year, and then I ditched the Hobonichi Weeks because shiny things, whatever. Okay, so this pen video has gone on quite long enough, I suppose. If you're still with me, thank you. That means you're as obsessed about pens as I am. I hope that this video was worth it after waiting so long for me to film one of these. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'd love to know your thoughts on the pens that I shared today. Which one do you use in your planner, or do you have a favorite, or did I introduce you to a new one or one that you forgot about? I'd love to chat about pens in the comments below, so go ahead and leave something for us to talk about. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're new around here and don't want to miss out on future videos, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much as always for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye guys.